Hey guys, so this video isn't exactly about the philosophy of spirituality, or even necessarily something within spirituality itself, but just something with lucid dreaming that I think is absolutely cool and can blow your minds and help you to understand the philosophy of spirituality a lot better if you can sort of manage to have your own experiences of this. So, yeah, stay tuned. So don't mind me, I'm just a little ecstatic today. Oh, hold on. That's better. Yeah. Okay. Whew. So I had the wildest lucid dream I've ever had just now, and so I've been reading. What's the name of that book? It's by Robert Wagner. I think it's Lucid Dreaming. The Gateway to the Inner Self is the subtitle for that book. Phenomenal. If you really love lucid dreaming and if you want to get into it, you should high-key read it. It's got tons of techniques, talks about various things that happen in and because of dreams and all sorts of experiments you can do. And today I just wanted to kind of talk about the ones that I did, because I became lucid in my dream, and it was the most lucid I've ever been, and I remembered this time to communicate with the dream. And it's dope. So basically, you know how your dream is made by your subconscious mind? So your inner knowing is really directing the whole thing. And I remember seeing in another video that basically when you're dreaming, you are inside of your astral body, which is something I want to explore in the future too. But basically, I was dreaming, and at one point I was in this medieval town had an arcade in their port, you know, kind of like where they kept their warehouses and stuff, which was really weird. Because first off, why would you keep an arcade there? Second off, how did they get an arcade? But anyway, I was there, and I was debating playing this game that was like, this Nintendo-styled House of the Dead kind of platformer, which was really weird, but also really interesting. If you're looking for good game ideas, something like that would be awesome. But also, right, I was sort of going around, and at one point I was with my brother, and I think it was really him, and we were both lucid. But there was one point I asked, "Do you want to go to the moon?" And he was like, "We can go to the moon." And so I walked up to a door, and I used this, I guess you can call it a technique, because it is a specific way of doing things, but really, and it was outlined in Robert Wagner's book, you just announce your intention to the dream so that it knows basically what it wants, or what you want from it, because it's a cooperative thing. Like, it's literally there to help you learn and grow, and it does this every night, and it basically waits for you. But I was there. I said, when I open this door, I want to go to the moon, or I would like to open this door and go to the moon, something along those lines. And so I opened the door, walked into this really interesting room. It was like those foam pad things that are like really, really gray, sometimes black. They're used for sound dampening in like bars and other music venues. It was basically a room made out of those, and a door covered with it. And I was just like, oh, that's really interesting. So we closed the door behind us. I walked up to the door, and I pushed it open, and lo and behold, I was standing on the surface of the fucking moon. Looking straight out. All I could see was gray rock and sand, and nothing. And then stars in the distance. And I felt the air in the room get sucked out into the vacuum of space, and I put my hand on the door to stop myself from getting sucked out. And then I quickly stepped to the side of the door, and I looked back, and I was just like, yo, this is the moon! But I was afraid we were going to get sucked out into the just void, and so I didn't step out. And my brother was like, hey, maybe we could just like jump out but then grab onto something and just kind of like, fly on the air getting vacuumed out of this room. Oh man, I want to go back. But we went back inside, and we were basically in this like dream mall section, which was really cool. And there were tons of dream figures everywhere. There was all sorts of random things. There was this guy literally selling astrology fortunes. Like, you walked up, you told him what placement you wanted a fortune from, and he would give you a little strip of paper with like, I don't know, like a Shweeny moon, the degrees for it, and then something for you to know. And that's what I forgot to ask. So, no, if you have a lucid dream, ask the dream if there's anything important that you should know. Yeah, that'll be a good way to phrase it. And sorry, I keep getting distracted by these hawks. They're just soaring. Actually really cool. But we were walking around, and I kind of wanted to just go ask the dream some things on my own. So I departed from my brother, and I just started running around the mall, just shouting out questions. And most of the time, like, random dream figures would answer and respond. And there was like one time, I think, where I got sort of just a voice from somewhere. But man, it was really interesting. I got a cleverly worded sort of riddle for asking the dream what my purpose in life was. But what else happened? Oh yeah, so I love jaguars. Jaguars are awesome, and if I could have any animal for a pet, I would want a badass pet jaguar. Sorry, my nose is running. But there was one point I was running, and there was this weird like escalator spot. It was literally just like 10 feet down from the floor was a spot where just escalators were coming out of the ground, and people were walking up out of them. And so I walked over. I thought it was weird, but I was just like, you know what? Dream. I would like a jaguar to come up from one of these escalators. And almost immediately, a jaguar just kind of came up from the escalator, came out onto the floor, and I was just like, oh my god, and it's a baby too. And I just walked over, started petting it, talked about how cute it was, and man, this is it's been amazing. This is an amazing dream. But I am definitely going to do more of these experiments. I'm definitely going to ask the dream more and more questions, see what more amazing stuff can happen, and I'll get back to y'all on just what you can do in a dream and how fun it could be. Because like when I woke up this morning, I actually felt my chest was like, whew, that was something else. It was really something else. But I hope this was interesting, if not informative. I always seek to educate, because honestly, when we share the information that we have, we can grow and expand so much faster, and so just make life so much more interesting, fun, and cool. So I'll see y'all later. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. Honestly, leave a comment if you've got anything interesting you might want to ask, because I've been lucid dreaming for a while, but I've never had a lucid dream like this. So, yeah. See you.